Hello and welcome to Taking Advantage of Blockchain. Today we're going to talk about how your business can benefit from using this data structure. My name is Rachael Martino. I'm a consultant with SEI Boston, and I'm here to talk with you about blockchain architecture. What is it? What makes it special? What kind of problems it can solve because of that data structure, and provide you with some industry examples, including some that are fun. Fundamentally, blockchain is a data structure. It stores data, and it is the underlying data structure for digital currencies like Bitcoin. And because of its architecture, it has some special characteristics that make those especially robust. There are other application platforms for taking advantage of the blockchain data structure that you can use to build solutions. Sometimes blockchain is referred to as the Internet of Value, and that's because it is a digital representation or actual value stored in a validated structure that is chronologically categorized. It is completely immutable and is managed across a distributed network. The blockchain structure is differentiated from your regular relational database by the fact that there are hashes stored in each block that link back to the previous block in the chain. If there's any change to a block, then the hashes in any blocks afterwards will break and the chain will fall apart. That's what makes it different from a regular data store. The blocks are inherently chronological because each block has to be complete before the next block can be added. They are immutable because any change in the content of a block will break the link from the next block's hash representation of it. It's important to note that the content can be stored openly or it can be encrypted within a block. Blockchain is managed across a peer-to-peer network. This avoids having a central single point of failure and enables the management of the data and accessibility of the data to a number of nodes. Nodes are always managing the longest version of the chain. So if one node publishes a new block to the chain, every node picks up the latest, longest version of that block and uses that. I'd like to spend a few minutes on some of the benefits provided by this structure and some challenges that it brings. The structure enables a number of business benefits, including having, again, no central authority, as well as other features that manage the blocks as value and permanently stores the data. The problem of double spending is one that has plagued digital certificates or digital value, and because of the chronological and immutable nature of blockchain, double spending is impossible. And that's one of the reasons that digital currencies based on blockchain have been successful. Some of the challenges represented by blockchain are that the nodes, the multiple nodes in the peer-to-peer network are all working to manage the data at the same time, but only one node will successfully add the next block. When that happens, all of the nodes will stop working on that block, will drop their versions of the chain, pick up the new longest chain, and begin working on adding the next block. This is not a particularly efficient structure and can cause significant added compute overhead. Additionally, because blockchain is inherently a new data structure and requires different forms of software to manage, it's expensive to acquire blockchain and to develop it in-house, as well as being difficult to integrate with other systems. Compliance with privacy laws can also be an issue with blockchain and should be considered when planning a blockchain implementation. There are workarounds for storing privacy information, but you cannot store them in your blockchain. I'd like to spend a few minutes on applications, current and future, in a number of different industries. In healthcare, one of the major challenges is that if you are traveling or if you change providers, access to your medical records is problematic at best, and in some cases they have to be manually transmitted between different providers and different systems. With blockchain as an instantaneously accessible, distributed, immutable, secure repository, sharing data between healthcare organizations is much faster and much simpler. Similarly, in the insurance industry, there are multiple parties involved in claims, and it can be difficult to arrive at decisions or gather the information that's necessary to make a decision related to a settlement. Instantaneous access to a distributed form of information can allow insurance companies and their various vendors and providers to make those decisions and act on those transactions much more quickly. In food transmission, transportation, and in supply chain, there are a number of issues all along that chain where from point of origin through destination, it is necessary to know what has happened with the products or materials, how they've been managed, how they've been treated, where they've been, and what dates and times they're arriving. The blockchain distributed nature allows nodes all along that chain, the supply chain, to add information and store it without risk of loss or transmission failure or modification to that information. Personal information like higher education records or other student records, in addition to things like birth certificates, are generally stored in a central location. This can be a central point, a single point of failure. It is risky, or data can be changed. The immutable nature of a blockchain, as well as its distributed nature across the network, means that that information is accessible as well as trustworthy. CryptoKitties is a fun implementation of blockchain where people have access to and purchase actually digital pets that they can trade, buy and sell on digital platforms like Bitcoin, and they are extremely popular. So today we've talked about the structure of blockchain, why it is a special data structure that has intrinsic value as a digital ledger. We've talked about the kinds of problems that it can solve and the benefits of blockchain, as well as some challenges. And we've run through how it can be used to solve pain points in various industries. I'd like to thank you for your time listening to me talk about blockchain today and encourage you to use my contact information here on this page to reach out to me. I'm Rachael Martino with SEI Boston, and I would love to talk to you about your blockchain questions. Thank you very much.